Hi, this is Gadget Man 404 and I just wanted you to show that I found another set of propellers. These are 6" by 4.5" pitch, and basically these are amazing. I haven't had a proper flight because it's been raining for the last few days, but I've had a little test flight in the house, and in beginner mode it actually takes off, whereas the last ones I talked to you about were these. These are 5" and 3" pitch. So, and these are again Gemfans. So very good, popular brand. Most people have heard of Gemfan. Basically, with these, all you do is you just pop it on, and then you get your washer, and you put your washer on like so. Just put it upside down, and then you put the locking nut upside down to fasten it on. Whereas normally, obviously with the originals, with the proper ones from RC Logger, you turn that all the other way round. So you have the rubber washer spacer, on the top, and that tall piece of thread actually goes inside. It goes inside the top there. So when that goes on there like that, fits over there, and then that washer turns around and fits inside. Now, I've been buying different ones because these break very easy. You don't even have to hit anything. You can just land it heavy and bang, and the arms flex, and then I go to have a look at it, make sure everything's fine, and then you'll see stress marks. Now if you look how they've made this, they've strengthened in that piece there, those three little things, because that's the weak point. They never break off here or here, it always breaks in the middle. And there's so little plastic actually connected to there. So I think that's a design fault. I actually think these are poorly designed. I mean, look, it doesn't even join all the way round. It only goes 3/4 of the way. Get into focus. So, it's like two pieces moulded on to a centre sprue, yeah? Whereas all the other ones, I'm just taking this off to show, it's one piece of plastic. There's no strengthening because it doesn't need it. There's a nice short hub, so that's what makes it strong, whereas the originals, that long hub that's causing the weak point, I think. And they've already, look, they've strengthened it by putting those three little things, and when they break, that's where it breaks. It always breaks there, breaks off, clean snap. It can just rock and hit the grass and flies off, bust. So I've been looking on the market for different ones, and these are, as I say, Gemfan. I think they call them 50/30s. There's not much of a kick, but for general flight these are fine. But I found some more. If I can find it, bear with me. This is what I mean. When they break, it breaks off there. So they always break there. Clean snap. And that's because that's the weak point. So I've been looking around, and I found some even better ones. These are 6B 4.5s, and as you can see, that is a lovely, well made propeller. Really thick plastic. Look, there's no strength in it because it doesn't need it, because look how thick it is on the side. it's loads better. Just trying to get more near the light so you can get a better view. So as you can see, these are 6 times 4.5, and these are excellent. Now the 3s, the 6 or the 5" B3s, the 50/30s, they won't even take off in beginner mode because the pitch is so narrow that you don't, in beginner mode, you don't get a lot of throttle because it just lets you take off. Whereas these, you get all the spacers as well. So you'll see which one, and the spacer fits right over. So again, I'm trying to video and it's really hard. So you just push that on there, like that, and it'll click in it there. So that spacer fits completely over. And then again, you put the washer on first, and then you turn the locking nut. Instead of having it that way, you turn it that way. And basically you just nip them up. I'm trying to video and what's it, and it's blinking hard. And my dog's barking outside because it's raining, so he's going to get wet. So that's that. Now that looks awesome, I think. Now what I've done is I've made my own. I've extended the legs because the camera bracket that I've got, as you can see there, it's still, the camera is deeper than that bracket, and the camera would touch the floor even with the extended legs. So we've had a little play, and I'm going to paint all them up and all the rest of it, and then it will look absolutely amazing. Those cable ties or zip ties, they help keep the motor mounts closed, because I've had issues in the past where I've been flying and one of the motors has actually popped out in mid-air because it's plastic on metal, and with the vibrations, etc., it popped out. Only one of them did it all the time, so I watched a few videos and someone said put some cable ties and it just gives it that bit more pinch. So that's what I've done. But there's a company called CNC, and they make aluminium motor mounts. You can get them on eBay. I think they're like just under $20 for 4, and basically they weigh like 2 point something ounces, so they're not heavy, but you have a lock-in nut which goes through the actual mount into the centre shaft for the motor, and you just need to do a few screws of that, and basically it nips it up, so you won't need any cable ties at all. But you know, 20 quid or $20 or cable ties, they're a quid from the pound shop, or £1.50 from Halfords for 5 or 10 or whatever. So as a temporary thing, I've had these now for the last few weeks and they've been absolutely fine. Hi, this is Gadget Man 404, and as you can see, I've got some new props for my RC Logger Eye One Xtreme. These are 6 by 4.5s, and basically these are amazing. Now the reason why I've purchased these is because before I purchased some Gemfan 50/30s. Now they're okay for general flight, but I like recording my flights, and because they're only 3" kick on these, as you can see, it won't carry the camera. It's alright for general flying, but to carry an extra load it won't do it. And as you can see, these are far better made than the real ones, because basically the hub, or the centre hub, is not so high. There's no supporting, piece of plastic on the inside, because basically you don't need it. But as I say, let me just turn this around. but for the purpose of if you want to record, then I'm afraid you can't carry a camera. Now this will carry, the Eye One Xtreme carries up to 100 grams of extra weight, so you can make it FPV as long as it's a micro system. And you can, I'm looking into seeing if they do any bigger batteries. Their biggest battery at the minute is 1150 milliamp hours, which gives you about nearly 9.5 minutes of fly time, which is pretty good. But the standard 800 gives you about 6.5, 7 minutes. And that's all dependent on whether, if you are carrying a camera and if it's windy and it's fighting, obviously it's using more energy, etc. So I've been looking on the market to see if there's any more propellers, and I found these bad boys. I'm just going to take one off and show you. Just bear with me. Sorry about that. These again are Gemfans, but these are 6" by 4.5s. So you've got 4.5" kick. Now as you can see, these are awesome. You get the spacers, you get 3 lots or 4 lots of spacers in each pack. They cost like £3.89 off eBay for, I think, for 4. Now look at that, how that's all like one piece of plastic. It's really thick. Look at this, the size. I know it's sort of deceiving because it's got a bit of a bend, but there's no supports on the centre hub because it don't need them. Very rigid, very, very thick plastic. So these, I haven't had a flight outside yet, but I've flown inside. And even in beginner mode, you can take off with these, whereas the 3" ones in beginner mode you can't. So as you can see, look, 6 times 4.5, and with that spacer, it just fits over there. Just click. Now you know when it's done because there's more of the centre thing. Now with these, to lock these on, all you do is you put it upside, the locking nut you put upside down. So you still have to put the locking nut or the washer, because that's just anti-vibration. And then you turn the locking nut the other way around. So instead of it going inside like that, it normally goes inside the actual propeller. These ones don't. You just do it like that. Now, these are the real ones. These are RC Loggers owned. These are 6" by, I don't even know what the kick is on these. They're probably 4s, 4.5s. Now, I'm just trying to get the light. As you can see here, now there's the problem right there. There are 3 extra pieces of plastic, which is to strengthen, I believe, it's to strengthen or to connect that blade to the hub. It's not like one piece of plastic, it's like 2 pieces stuck on the hub. Now, there's the issue. When they break, it breaks there, and I'll show you where they break. So I've got one. Here's one I prepared earlier. So basically that's the weak point. It always breaks there. It never breaks off or breaks halfway, breaks near the hub. Because I believe that's a design flaw. They either make them like that so they break and then you have to buy them off them, obviously. So it's a sales ploy. Or they've had issues with the first batch, in prototype stages, and they've come up with stick a few bits of plastic on it and that'll strengthen it. Now, yeah, it flies fine, no issues, no vibrations, all that type of thing, but you can fly it carrying a camera. You come down heavy it flexes. So as it lands, you know, the arms move, they're bendy. That's just the way they are, they bend. So when you land, you can land quite heavy. That flexes the arm, which sends shocks through the, you know, up into here, and then basically you get stress marks on the propeller. It shows up white, shows up on the black not so easily, but on the red shows white lines, and then eventually that line will turn into a crack. And you don't want to be flying, you know, 100 feet up carrying a camera and then that snaps, because you're in trouble. It's just going to fall out of the sky and 3 ain't going to carry it. So basically you're going to have a pile of parts. So I found these Gemfans 60 by 45s or 6 by 4.5, and these, as you can see, solidly made, you know, real nice material, nice quality plastic. These are quite tinny, sort of like, you know, very thin. You know, you can see. Look, let me just look. You know, really thin, like half a mil or whatever. They seem a nice shape to scoop the air away and all that, but there's weak points, and that is there. And there's only one shop in England that supply RC lugger parts, and they're based in Leicester, and they're called Midland Helicopters. And maybe they're just coming into the quadcopter market or whatever. I don't know the full story, but a lot of the time when you ring them trying to get parts, they don't have the parts. Like I wanted, only last week or 2 weeks ago, I wanted some 1150 batteries. They didn't have any in stock, and their suppliers are in China. You can't buy any parts for RC Lugger on eBay or Amazon or on the internet. You have to go through either RC Lugger Direct in Hong Kong, or you have to go through Midland Helicopters in Hinckley in Leicester. And if they haven't got them in stock, you're stuck. So I wouldn't bother going there. Have a look on eBay and just get some 60 by 4.5s. These work. I'm going to have a proper flight, so I'll post some videos of a test flight carrying my camera, which I always fly with a camera. It's very rare I'll fly without a camera, because I love doing my aerial shots and all that type of thing. The longer legs, if you're wondering, oh, that looks a bit weird. I did this because with my custom made camera mount, you can get a proper camera tray and all that off RC Lugger, but you don't need to. I got this camera mount piece of metal, bent it into like an L shape. It is velcro to the bottom of my battery with an elastic band pulled really tight, and that does the job perfectly. It's an action shot camera from Toys R Us. It costs £15. You get the 2 housings, you get this bracket to fit to a pole or to the side of a helmet or whatever you. You get a strap, body strap, where you can click it to if you're into skiing, skateboarding, so you can wear it on your helmet, on your body. 15 quid, takes an SD card. The videos that I've taken have been pretty good. It's not great in low level lighting, but on a normal sunny average day, absolutely perfect. The longer legs, I've made them because when it used to land, because the camera is wider than the bracket, so it used to rock, and that's where I had my issues with my propellers, because as it rocked, it would either rock back or forward, snap the propellers. Now this way, you know, it doesn't rock anymore. It's just a piece of doweling with some cable ties. I'm going to paint them up so you won't even notice, but Gemfans seems to be the way to go. I had no issues in the past. As I say, these are the 50-30s, okay for general flight, but can't carry a payload. These 60 by 4.5s, and these carry a load, and basically these are really good. you can take off in beginner mode with these and just hover around, which is what I've done up to now. And it's been raining too bad the last few days, and it's still raining on and off today. But as soon as the weather picks up, I will be doing a video of a flight with these new 60 4.5s. Please subscribe if you like what you hear. Like if you like the video. This has been filmed with my iPad, the new YouTube capture feature, which is the app, and basically you record straight off your iPad or